Coming to you live from our studio deep in the heart of West Texas, this is the Cowboy Corner Show.
Hey everybody, what is up? Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for joining us on the Cowboy Corner Show this evening. I appreciate you staying up a little later than normal, but we're trying to squeeze everything in here while we got a chance. The NFL playoff games are done. They're set. We've had all four of them for this weekend. And, what a game that was. What a game. It was worth me being a little late. I don't know if it was worth it for you, but the Matthew Stafford jersey is staying up, folks. We're not taking it down. He's winning. He's the man. He's going to be the MVP. That jersey's staying up until they lose, which it ain't going to happen. So it's going to stay up the rest of the year, on to next year till they lose their game. The Stafford jersey's staying there, and I might wear it on Super Bowl Sunday, but then I'm going to hang it back up with all my sweat, some nacho cheese stains on it, and whatever else may transpire. It's all going to stay there. So just FYI. But man, what a game. But anyway, thanks for, like I said, staying up late. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for joining me. I'm here by myself tonight, flying solo, so I'm not going to sink the ship. But I am the Cowboy in the Corner, and I appreciate you joining us. I just say that you can contact the show on Instagram. You can also join the chat on YouTube, as always. We have the chat going. You can direct message on Instagram and get a hold of us that way as well. And I'll be doing everything myself tonight. So if things get just a little bit kind of sketchy, well, got nobody to blame but myself.
Yep, he did a big turd.
My little turd buddy is here with me, and I've also got Chat GPT, so you're never really alone whenever, you've got modern technology. Even though I'm here by myself, I know that you were all with me in spirit, and I've got my technological friends that don't really exist. So we're rocking and rolling tonight. So I'm ready. I've been waiting on this. I've been preparing this. We were going to do the show last night, but there was late games. I'm not going to compete against the NFL playoffs. And it was funny last night because, it was yesterday afternoon. It was during the Broncos game. And my wife was like, I was in the house doing something, but I'd been out here in the studio working all day, and my wife was like, hey, do you want to watch a Hallmark movie with me? And I was like, babe, there is nothing else that I would rather do, or any man in America for that matter, that we'd rather do than turn off an NFL playoff game and sit down and watch a Hallmark movie. I mean, yeah, of course I would like to. So what did I do? Well, being the great husband I am, I sat down and took a nap while the Hallmark movie was on for about 15, 20 minutes, and then, I paid my due. Then I got back up and came out to the studio, turned the game back on, and went on about my business. And so, the Broncos and the Bills, that was a good game yesterday too. The Broncos ended up 33-30 over the Bills in overtime. And Bo Nix, he a Duck. He's from Oregon, but he broke his ankle in the overtime, like on the second to last game. So yikes for the Broncos. Like, what are they going to do without Bo Nix? They have Jarrett Stidham now, who's been a career backup, and he's 1-3 in his career as an NFL starter. So he does have a victory under his belt, but I mean, he's going to be going up against the Patriots, and that Patriots defense is nasty. They're nasty. They didn't let the who did they play today? Anyway, I've got stuff written down here, and everything is, they played the Texans today, and they beat them 28-16, which doesn't sound like a terrible score, but honestly, that score does not reflect how bad the game was. I think the Patriots got 4 turnovers. They just didn't really do a lot with it, but they're probably going to destroy Jared Stidham. But I actually have live footage, so let me see if I can run all this here by myself. I've got footage yesterday. This is of Bo Nix after the game was over. So let's see what we got here. The Broncos going to the AFC Championship. Here's Bo Nix walking off the field. Oh man, 2 plays left to go. Bo, what's up? Yikes. Yeah. So, but I did come up with a plan because me, being the innovative person that I am, and all the people that I know, we've had Phil Rivers, Uncle Phil, and he's available. The Colts are done. They're not going to the playoffs by any means. So Uncle Phil's available. There's nobody that, could take that job better than Uncle Phil. Right there. Look at him. He's in his Broncos jersey. I mean, he's ready to go. And I think I know some people in the mafia. I'm not going to say who they are, but,
Go time!
I We'll get some footage behind the scenes.
Come on, let's go. Nice and easy. There we go.
That's the Broncos detectives, agents, special agents going in to get Uncle Phil. So we'll see what happens there. I don't know. They're going to need something. The Broncos are going to need a miracle. They're the #1 seed, but the Patriots are the #2 seed. They're about to meet up in the AFC Championship. The Broncos are going to be at home, so they've got that going for them. But I mean, yeah, he broke his ankle. This is according to the reports. He broke his ankle on the second to last play in the overtime against Buffalo. He's going to have surgery this week, and that's going to put in Jared Stidham, of course, which I just said. They're going to have to face the Patriots in the AFC Championship. Stidham's 1-3 as a starter. He's been in the league since 2019, so he's not a rookie. He's been around for a while, but he's just been a career backup. He's 8-8 as far as touchdown to interception, so he's got a perfect 500 ratio. He might throw a touchdown. He might throw an interception. We don't know. That's going to be the fun part to see. So, that Patriots defense, like I said, they're bad. They put it to the Texans today, and I mean, C.J. Stroud, I like the guy, but he couldn't throw anything. He doesn't like the snow and the rain and the cold and all of that other stuff. He doesn't like that, apparently, and I don't really blame him. I mean, I don't mind the cold weather, but I don't really want to be out there trying to throw a football around in that. So it didn't work out for him, but oh well. As far as the NFC, we had the Seahawks and the 49ers last night, and that was a freaking joke, y'all. That was a joke. The 49ers didn't even score a single touchdown. I think they got 2 field goals. I don't know. I've also, through to my connections that I have in the league, I've got some footage. Let's see. This is some footage of the recap.
You guys gotta relax.
Literal recap of the Seahawks just running over the 49ers, like literally just tearing them up. What can you say? I mean, it was, what was that game? 41-6. 41-6. And they put in the second string at the fourth quarter. And Sam Darnold wasn't even doing that great. I mean, Sam Darnold, we talked about him before. Like, where the heck did he come from? But it wasn't even him last night, really. He was just holding steady. But they were running all over him. And the 49ers, they couldn't touch them. I don't know. They're depleted. They've got a lot of people hurt. But still, that does not give you the right to allow a playoff game to be 41-6. Like, you gotta show for yourself better than that. The running back for Seattle, Kenneth Walker III. Like, who's ever even heard of Kenneth Walker III? Does anybody know who Kenneth Walker III is? Well, I don't either, but he set a franchise record for the playoffs with 3 rushing touchdowns. He scored 3 touchdowns, right? He went 116 yards and only 19 carries and 3 touchdowns. That's impressive for Kenneth Walker III Jr. I don't even know who the guy is. I wouldn't know him if he walked right up to me right now and said, "Hey, I'm Kenneth Walker III Jr. and I play running back for the Seattle Seahawks." I'd be like, "Yeah, sure you are." I don't know the difference. They ran the opening kickoff, I think, was ran back for a touchdown. Like, it was just a murder from the start. So those Seahawks are going to be nasty. Now, they've already played the Rams twice because they're in the division, and they went 1-1. The Rams won the first game. The Seahawks won the second game. They were both tight. But now it's going to be the Rams' turn again because that's how that's going to work. So the Rams are going to win, and I'm going to go with the Patriots because I just don't think that Jared Stidham and the second-string Broncos are going to be able to take on that Patriots defense. I just really don't. So it's going to be the Rams and the Patriots. And my son Cooper, he's a Patriots fan. So me and him, we're not going to be on good terms for the remainder of the next, 3 weeks, I think. And then, we'll be all right after that. But that's just how that goes. Anyway, here's a video for the Rams in celebration.
About me, we hit a ram it, you see. If you ram it just right, you can ram it all night. Ram it. Do you know how to ram it? Let's ram it. We know how to ram it. We'll be rocking LA. So let's ram it today. Let's ram it. Let's ram it right now with the LA Ram. Hollywood handsome, Dodge City tough. If you throw it my way, it's gonna be rough. I like to ram it, as you can see. Nobody likes ram.
I don't know. I don't know. I found that and I thought, why not? The 1986 Rams. I don't know anybody that was on there. I don't think Eric Dickerson was on the Rams. I used to like Eric Dickerson when I was a kid, but I think I know he was on 84, 85. I don't know if he made it to 86 or not. Anyway, why not? Why not? Tomorrow night's the national championship college football, so we get to watch Fernando do his thing, and we like Fernando around here. That's going to be a good game. Fernando, they don't make mistakes. Indiana doesn't make mistakes. And Miami, they make mistakes, but they're really explosive. Like, they just throw stuff into the wind and then catch it and score. So that's going to be a good game. And I've really not given Indiana the benefit of the doubt all year. I keep thinking like they're going to choke at any time because they're Indiana and they're the worst team in college football from the record standpoint. So I just keep saying they're going to lose, they're going to lose, they're going to lose. They're 8.5-point favorites. I really think that they're going to win. I'm going to pick them. I'm going to pick them. And so they better, I'm finally coming out of the shell. I'm picking Indiana. I'm picking Fernando and his little brother Orlando or whatever his name is. They both play on the team. I'm picking them. And so, we need them to win. So 8.5-point favorites, they're going to play tomorrow night. And whatever your pick is on that, let me know. Hit me up in the chat. Do we have anything going on in the chat? I've kind of got several screens going here. So let me check in. I don't know if there's really even anybody watching tonight, considering that it's like 10 o'clock at night in some places. But, we're, like I said, we're doing what we can do here. I'm trying to fit in things. At least we're doing a show, right? Not a lot going on the chat. That's okay. We're going to move on. This show's going to be short and sweet because, once again, I don't really have anybody to deal with. But I was going to say, like, if you notice a little something different, I had an accident this morning. And so I'm a little clean around the edges here, which is, not typical for me. I've had a beard for, I don't know, a very long time. And this morning, like, I'm up getting ready for church. It's early. I'm still half asleep. And, I was unkempt. So I was like, I got to clean myself up a little bit for church. So I get out the Yale razor and I'm doing a trim, like, with the guard on there, and I'm trimming it up. And I don't really know, because once again, like I said, I was about 3/4 of the way asleep. But as I'm trimming along, I just hear, like, it really hit a bite right there. And I was like, oh, what happened? Well, then when I moved the razor off, the guard fell off and landed in the sink. And so at some point the guard came loose from my razor and I was just, trimming away. Well, so I ended up like right here in this area. I just had a big old chunk. I looked like some kind of a zebra stripe or a lion or something. And I messed with it for a little while. Like, there's nothing you can do. I mean, I tried to clean it up. I tried to kind of blend it. I tried to say, well, I'll just kind of leave the beard up here in a higher goatee region. And needless to say, it didn't work. And I ended up just having to bring it home. I just had to take it off. And so I think Trisha was up. I'm not sure. Yeah, she was up, but I was like, hey, just so you know, just so you don't freak out when I come out of here, like I'm taking the beard off. I have to. I don't have any choice. And she was like, yeah, that's fine. She's like, I heard you in there, like having a conversation with yourself. She's like, I knew something was up. So I did it. And, even though she expected it, like, she still laughed at me. She still laughed at me several times today. Nobody else made fun of me. Nobody else really said anything. I was kind of a little bit keeping myself undercover, like being covert as I was maneuvering around people, because I didn't know what kind of comments I was going to get. I didn't really get any except from the one who I love the most. She was laughing at me, and I did end up trimming the mustache a little bit too, because it was so grown that by the time the beard went off, then it made it look even bigger, and it was cartoonish. And if you look at the thumbnail of the video, like, that's not what I look like in real life, but I kind of just expounded on that. If you can see the top of Conrad's head, he's like ready to go in the house probably. I don't know what his deal is, but there's Conrad. But anyway, yeah. So I'm looking a little different, and it is what it is. Give me 3 days. Like, I've already got a 5 o'clock shadow going, and that was about 14 hours ago that I had that incident. So that's how fast it's growing back. I'm not too worried about it. I'll be back to normal soon. So anyway, I think that's all we got on the football standpoint of everything. We've got some baseball news that I wanted to go over because this is just ridiculous. Like, I don't know if you know who Kyle Tucker is. I think the dog just hit my camera. I'm not sure what just happened. You're going to have to stop. I don't know if you know who Kyle Tucker is. A lot of people don't even know who Kyle Tucker is. And there's like a thing like, is somebody actually famous if nobody knows who they are? Is somebody actually worth a lot of money if nobody knows who they are? And the way that you can judge that when it comes to sporting events is like you wonder, is it somebody that your wife knows or is it somebody that your mom knows? If your mom or your wife knows who they are, then they're famous. If they don't know who they are, then they're not famous. But Kyle Tucker, and he used to be an Astro. He started out in the Astros organization, which that's my team. I'm very familiar with the Astros, so that's how I know him. But he just signed a 4-year, $240 million fully guaranteed salary with the Dodgers. The Dodgers they're spending some bank. Like they've got the highest paid people in more than one position. Plus, he got a $64 million sign-on bonus, which doesn't even count towards the salary. So Kyle Tucker, if you don't know who he is, he's an outfielder. Like I said, he played for the Astros. Then he went to the Cubs, obviously, which is why that Cubs jersey is there. But a lot of I've heard people like, who the heck is Kyle Tucker and how is he worth $240 million? And well, I don't know, but I'm about to find out here. I'm about to run this test.
Hello.
Hey, honey, how are you?
Good. Are you done? I'm watching you
No.
still.
Yeah, you're live on air.
Oh.
You're live on the
okay,
Cowboy Corner
what?
show.
Yeah?
Do you know who Kyle Tucker is?
No, I was just watching you say that he's like worth $240 million. I have no idea who he is.
Yeah, he's worth $240 million. And so the test is to make sure if somebody's really famous enough for that or not is if your wife or your mom knows who they are. And since you're my wife,
Facts.
yeah. So, okay, thanks for proving my point.
You're welcome.
Love you, bye.
Bye.
Okay, so my wife doesn't know who Kyle Tucker is. And I don't know if my mom's awake, so I'm not going to call her. I think she's awake. She should be watching, but she probably doesn't know who he is either. Anyway, Kyle Tucker, 4-year, $240 million contract. So that leads to this next. This is MLB salaries by franchise, which I looked this up on Friday. This is provided by Spot Track, whoever the crap that is. Who cares? The Dodgers have this is a guaranteed salary payroll. They're in the billions, y'all. $2.11 billion is their payroll, because you got to remember they also have Shohei Ohtani. And I don't know what his salary is right off the top of my head. I didn't look it up, but it's a lot. So if you look at the Padres right there, the Padres are $1.26 billion. That's second place, but they're almost half of what the Dodgers are. Like, that's ridiculous. The Dodgers are making the Yankees. They're making the Red Sox. They're making the Phillies. They're making them, just look like they're shopping at the dollar store. And those are usually the top teams in the league. And the Red Sox, the Dodgers are making them look like a mom and pop shop. Like, that's crazy. So you put that in comparison with, here we've got, these are the bottom. So that was the top 10. This is the bottom 10 from 30 up. Look at the lowly little Tampa Bay Rays. They're paying $70 million. $70 million. Well, that sounds like a lot of money when you're paying a 40-man roster. You're splitting $70 million between 40 people. That's not bad, right? But you put that up against a $2.1 billion, that's nothing. That's absolutely nothing. That's crazy. I just wanted to show this because when I saw it, I was like, wow, I can't believe that there's that big of a gap from the top to the bottom in Major League Baseball. But that's what it does when you don't have a salary cap. That's what a non-salary cap sport will do for you, is make these kind of huge gaps. But, the Dodgers aren't playing. They are. Technically, they're playing baseball because that's what they do. But they're not playing when it comes to just taking people, whoever they want, and paying them whatever they want. Like, they're in this to win it. Like I said, they make the Yankees look bad, and the Yankees have never had an issue spending money. So I just wanted to share that with you. So anyway, that's really about all that I've got to go over tonight. I told you it was going to be short and sweet, and it really is. obviously we've got the memes going on, and I've got a comment that says the thumbnail pic was close on the on my thumbnail with the mustache and no beard. It is close, and that's what I was trying to do, but it was exaggerated a little bit. So anyway, thanks for tuning in tonight. Thanks for joining us. It's going to be a little bit better next week. We're not going to be as rushed on a time constraint. We're not going to have any NFL games to follow after, and I'm not going to be by myself. So I'm not going to be trying to run everything. I'll have producers here. I'll have everybody here. But let's just run through the meme screen real quick.
Yep, he did a big turd.
Yeah, I'll get my crap together one of these days, folks. I'm sorry about that. We're going to run through the meme screen real quick, and then I'll let you go. Y'all don't know what it was like before memes. One joke from Billy Madison had to last you like 5 years. I mean, it's true. We got memes all over the place now. When I was a kid, we didn't have memes. You had to watch a movie, and then you just had to memorize the lines and just keep saying them until a new Billy Madison movie came out. As a kid, I thought the Bermuda Triangle was going to be a much bigger problem in my adult life. It's so true, man. Like the Bermuda Triangle, we don't live anywhere near Bermuda. But I remember when I was a kid, like they would do it on Unsolved Mysteries and like Forensic Files or whatever those shows are. They'd be showing the Bermuda Triangle all the time. And I was like terrified of the Bermuda Triangle. I was thinking like, what if I, at one point in my life, have to get on a plane and fly into the Bermuda Triangle? Like I'll never come back. Like there's no planes that fly in that area or no boats that go in that area that ever come back. And I was terrified of it. And then it's like, now you don't hear anything about the Bermuda Triangle anymore. Like, let me find out what's going on. Hey, what's up with the Bermuda Triangle? Like, why does nobody talk about that anymore? It used to be like a really big deal, and now you don't ever hear anything about it anymore. Can you tell me what's going on?
Yeah, definitely. The Bermuda Triangle was super popular in the mid-20th century with all those mysterious disappearances and theories. But over time, a lot of those incidents were found to have more rational explanations like human error or bad weather. Plus, with modern technology and better navigation, the mystery kind of faded away. It's still talked about a bit in pop culture, but it's definitely not as big a deal as it used to be.
Thank you. Yeah, it's really not. I mean, and I didn't think about that. Like, it's been years since I've even thought about the Bermuda Triangle, but I remember like Robert Stack on Unsolved Mysteries. Dude would just scare the piss out of me and be talking in that voice that he has, like, tonight on Unsolved Mysteries, dun, 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 the Bermuda Triangle. And then they'd show all these people that like just flew off into there and then never came back. And I was terrified as a kid, but I'm glad that the Bermuda Triangle is not a thing anymore. Like we just go through there now. No big deal. All right. What do we got next? Found something to say whenever I leave a room now. Stay fresh, cheese bags. Oh gosh. I'm old enough to remember when people thought this was a good idea. And yes, there are people that had them, but let me show you something. Okay. Now, if you have a sensitive stomach, I'm about to zoom in on this. Look right there. Look right there at the top of the oval. That's why it's not a good idea. That is why it's not a good idea, because you got shark stains. I'm old enough to remember when people thought this was a good idea. And then that is terrible. That's terrible. I can't with that. It's terrible. This one was sent to me earlier today by my friend Lonnie. We're going to take a look at this.
Who'd you say did the electrical work?
Oh, that would be my nephew, Thomas. He's very handy.
Yeah. What year did his house burn down?
Oh, about 2 years ago. How do you know his house burned down?
I mean, it's not stupid if it works, but it is pretty stupid. It works. Got to give the guy credit. But if you're to touch both of those ends at the same time, let's watch that again. Oops.
Who'd you say did the electrical work?
Oh, that would be my nephew, Thomas. He's very handy.
Yeah. What year did his house burn down?
Oh, about 2 years ago. How do you know his house burned down?
How do you know his house burned down? Well, it doesn't take a rocket scientist, does it? Next. This is Jonah's wife listening to his story of how he was not home for 3 days because he got swallowed by a fish. Yeah, I mean, who's going to believe that story, right? You got to have God himself to back you up on that one. Good thing it's in the Bible. Like Jonah ended up proving her wrong, but the Bible probably wasn't written that same day. So he had to deal with that phase for a while. Next, Lou Gehrig, a.k.a. P. Diddy. That's terrible. Why did I put that on there? I saw that. I couldn't pass it up. Lou Gehrig. Here's me and Conrad at night. That's why I put this up here. When you're laying in bed and trying to get the blankets out from under the dog, it's like he can lay in the most inopportune spot, which is usually right between my legs. And then I try to roll over, and, you know, he's not that big of a dog, but when he's on the freaking blankets, it's like a ton. Next, when you're 10 dangs, 20 yups, 6 wows, and 8 man, that's crazies, and they still won't stop talking. I'm there more often than I want to admit. I love you people, and I'm not gonna name names, but there's a few of you that, like, when I start stepping, you just keep talking, and then I got to turn around. Yeah, man, dang, that's crazy. Dang, that's crazy. Next, another throwback meme one. Hey, 911, I'm dying. And then the 911 operator says, let me see. And then the guy says, what? The 911 operator says, what meme are you looking at? The guy's like, no, I'm literally dying. And the 911 operator's like, LMAO, tag me, bro. Funny, not funny. I found this in the throwback advertisements. I think this was real. A wool nose warmer. Cookie but practical way to eliminate the red nose problem in wintry weather. Great for outdoor sports and those bitter days. A gaily tasseled warmer. You got that part right. Ties securely behind the head. Fits any size nose. Assorted stripes, $1. I mean, would you rather wear that? Looks like a penis on the end of your nose, or would you rather just have a cold nose? I mean, so weird. People did weird things back in the, whenever that was, the 40s. Next, here's a good one. Bad tattoo ideas. My mom is my angle. You got to make sure you spell the tattoos right, because my mom is my angle. You know, spell it right, folks. Like, don't be an idiot. If you're too stupid to get a tattoo, don't get the tattoo. Next, there's a reason the babies aren't born with teeth. I mean, that'll give you nightmares right there. That one looks like Joe Biden on the bottom right. Looks like baby Joe Biden. The rest of them are... Next. Most people have heard of Karl... What the heck? Most people have heard of Karl Marx, but few know of his sister Onya, an Olympic runner. Her name is still mentioned at the start of every race. Onya Marx, get set, go! Next. Alexander Graham Bell. I invented the telephone. His brother Taco. Hey, I'm working on something pretty big too. Yeah, they're both still with us. We use them every day. Now, I personally don't use Taco Bell, but I mean, a lot of people do. Next, when you apply for a community college and they require a small essay, bring him with you. Next, do you think washers and dryers are like actually friends or just work friends? And Jacob, if you're watching this, I'm going to get my washer and dryer. I still haven't done it. I know I've mentioned it about the last 3 shows in a row. I'm going to do it. So please just keep it for me. We'll get there. Next, Hangman is a lovely childhood game where you slowly draw a man killing himself if another kid can't read your mind. Yeah, I never really understood Hangman. I was always pretty good at it, but I never really understood the concept of it being a hangman. Next, you live, you lure. That's in Minnesota, folks. And that wraps it up for the Cowboy Corner Show. I hope that you enjoyed it as much as I did, which was not that much, honestly. But I thank you that you tagged along. I thank you that we were able to get a show under our belt and talk about some football. And the Rams are making it. The Matthew Stafford jersey is staying up. And it's going to be the Rams and the Seahawks next week. And then we're going to have, I don't know why I was just like holding my hand up in the air. I'm just kind of out of it right now, so I apologize. We're going to have the Rams and the Seahawks next week, and then we're going to have the crippled up second-string quarterback Broncos and the Patriots next week. So with that being said, that's about all that I have for tonight. I'm glad that you tuned in. I'm glad that you joined us, and we will be back next week. We're going to have everybody here, and it's all going to be a better show. So just bear with me. Don't give up, and we'll be back next week. Thank you so much for joining. See you later.